You might not have my name, but you have my blood. The man who passes the sentence should swing the sword.
When you play the Game of Thrones, you win or you die.
You don't want to wake the dragon, do you?
Power resides where men believe it resides.
The things I do for love. Even if the boy lives, he'll be a cripple.
I'm guilty of being a dwarf.
There is only one God, and his name is death. And there is only one thing we say to death. Not today.
Let's go. We're back. Guys, my name's Ryan Milky and welcome to Game of Thrones Season 2, Episode 2 Breakdown. This one's going to be a little bit different. I've been playing around, twinkering, messing with all the dials, doing all this kind of crazy stuff to make a different kind of show. Let me know if you guys enjoy it. If you don't, we can go back to the way it used to be. I'll let you know, though, I didn't enjoy it when I was doing it. I was feeling like I was rushing through them and I wasn't taking so much care into them. But I feel like I've put a lot of care into this one. So you guys will be the judge. You guys can let me know. Don't forget, we also have Nightbot now on the channel, Commander Nightbot. He has some commands that you guys can put in the chat. So if you follow me on Instagram after the live stream, I will post those. I know that's not helpful for right now, but the moderators in the channel and the regulars, they know all about them. So they'll probably be posting them throughout the night. But guys, we're going to get straight into it. I have two guests this evening from the council themselves. I have my Grand Maester and my Hand of the King, Charles and Jeremy. Guys, we're just going to get them straight in. I'm going to go straight into this. We've got double back-to-back lives tonight. So I want to start off by saying, please hit the like button on the channel. Subscribe if you haven't already. I would really appreciate it. We're pushing to get to that 1,000. I've been doing it for 4 years, so just help me get there, please. And then, tonight, straight after this live stream, we're going to be going over to Let's Chat with Veterans. But first person to speak up in the chat. Good to see you. Let's Chat with Veterans. We're going over there tonight. We're going to be moderating backstage. We're going to have a fantastic guest coming on called Old School Nerd. And Let's Chat put in exclamation mark welcome. And Nightbot goes, welcome to the stream. Make yourself at home in Westeros. Feel free to join in the chat. Share your thoughts on today's episodes. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you, Nightbot. It's been well behaved today. Maybe one day I'll do a extra live stream and I'll show you the comments that he's been sending in the group chat because he's pretty vicious. But guys, without further ado, let's welcome on our Hand of the King, Charles. How you doing, my friend?
What's up, everybody? I'm doing good. Glad to be here.
Awesome.
Glad to be here.
Thank you for being here. I know last week was a busy, hectic week and it messed up everyone's schedules. And
yes,
I could have still gone live, but I enjoy it so much more better when you're sat here with me and we get to go through it. And because you're the reason why we're going down this memory lane, remember?
Well, yes,
so,
yes.
I thank you for your presence. I thank you for your attendance to council. And I'm loving the new background. I love that you've put some new effort into it again and you're loving YouTube life again. Yeah. How you doing?
Yeah.
You got a good week?
It's been a good week so far. Yeah. I actually got off work when I was supposed to, so that's good. And I'm not at work now, so that's awesome. Yeah. And it's looking good. Looking good like we're going to get regular hours this week, so that's good.
Nice.
So, no extra gold in the pot, but that's okay. Yeah. Speaking of people that work too many hours, let's bring on our Grand Maester. He's got his hands in many books. He's got his chain of links. And he's also in office meetings all day. So let's welcome him. Jeremy, how you doing?
I'm good. I was actually just reading up on some Grand Maester material. So, yes, nice to be here.
We should be reading this book right here, The Clash of Kings, because this is the second season.
Nice.
I love trying to read a little bit, a couple of chapters each week, trying to keep myself up to date with what we're doing, breaking it all down. It's so easy though to get carried away and just keep reading. Because you know what's coming up, Jeremy. So you know this season's jam packed. It's such a good episode. It's such a good season. So yeah, let's get straight into it. Charles, what did you think of episode 2 of season 2?
I enjoyed it. A lot of twists and turns. and I really like some of the character development as well.
I like it.
I think one of them we're going to talk about right off the bat, I believe. So
yeah, I think we will be doing. Yeah, Jeremy, how about you? I know you're a little bit further ahead than episode 2 of season 2, but what do you think of the second season?
I will say we've backed off. We are waiting so that we can let the live streams catch up to us. I think that season it starts out right. Episode 1's great. Moving into episode 2 and so forth have been just I don't know. I just love the storyline. I love how caught up you get in where you think it's going to go, and maybe it does, and maybe it doesn't.
Yeah, no, I like that completely. I like both of your takes on it. So, for me, this episode introduces a bunch of new characters, and it's super confusing if you don't know who they are. Now, I've been really bad on that up front, and I haven't uploaded the character video that I've made. So, we aren't going to be discussing every character that's in this episode tonight, because I have changed things up. I don't want to be monotone and get bored of listening to my own voice when I watch these things back. So I'm trying to make it more entertaining for everybody in the chat and everybody watching. So we're going to bring up this cool little thing. I've got a video basically, and it's 10 minutes in length, but it has questions in it and statements that I'll read out, and we have clips to accompany those statements. And we will pause the video at the points where the questions are, and we'll just have a quick little discussion amongst ourselves and the people in the chat, and then we'll move on. And I think that'll be a much more productive chat for you guys watching. For you guys watching on the rerun as well, feel free to comment down below your thoughts and your theories as we're going through this. I'd love to talk with all of you. I know Charles is obviously checking messages and comments on the weekly. So, yeah. There comes in Blaze. Lame Ass Dragons and Charles, please send me the C4. Thank you.
We got to get a Nightbot exclamation point hater or something for Blaze.
Noted. We do have this.
Yes.
That's specifically for Blaze. Thanks for stopping in, bro. I appreciate you coming in. Right, let's do this, shall we? You guys, don't hate me. If you hate this, I apologize, but I kind of liked it, so let's go. So I'm going for the dramatic effect. I've got a little bit of music playing at the beginning. Is the music too loud over my voice? Can you hear it okay?
No, you're like an angel.
Ooh, Dracarys. Watch out, dragons might be nearby today's episode. So I'm going to pause it here because I need to figure out how to carry the music played on. But Arya's journey north with Gendry. Arya, disguised as a boy, travels north with Gendry and other recruits from the Night's Watch. Her deploying friendship with Gendry gives her a rare sense of trust, especially as she hides her true identity. This part of Arya's journey reveals her resilience and her adaptation to survive in a dangerous world. And then I do have a little clip that we're going to play.
Gendry. He carries a bull's head helmet. Anyone turning him over will earn the king's reward. We'll be back with more men.
And I'll be taking your head home along with that bastard boy.
Interesting. So then if we just lame dragons. So it is lo-fi music, so it might sound like it's on a record player that's skipping, but that's the point, so it's free for copyright.
Yeah.
So the first question that we have arising is, what challenges has Arya already faced on her journey? And how do you think that this new friendship with Gendry might impact her story? Jeremy, I'll go first with you on this one.
Well, I'd take it a little different direction. I would say actually what we see in her now, I mean, she's faced a lot of challenges, yes, but how she's developed into the person that she is, going from a child to adhering to the challenges and overcoming some of these challenges, and also kind of morphing into whatever she needs to be to get through the situation that she's in, is really foretelling.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that the relationship with Gendry is just awesome. And I think that's I think that's long-lasting thing happening there.
Yeah. Charles, what would you think about this relationship? I know you're brand new on this, so you don't know where this goes and stuff like that. So what do you think about Gendry?
I would have to agree because they worked well together. Now that he kind of knows who she is, he stumbled upon it, and then she just, but I think that is really, I think that's going to make him stronger because now he's going to look out for her more, protect her a little bit more probably. But I don't really think she needs the protection either. She's a strong-willed woman for sure. Little girl.
And the fact that she trusted him with the information speaks volumes because she doesn't trust anyone, right?
That shows a lot right there that she was willing just to tell him. Yeah.
He already did figure it out as well, didn't he? He already knew. But I get your point. So I wrote down here that Arya's journey has forced her to adapt quickly. She's had to hide her identity, survive on the run, and take on the hardships of travel. Her friendship with Gendry offers her safety and connection to home. Gendry's loyalty and similar background give her the confidence and help her feel less alone. So I do cling on to the fact that she finds out that Gendry is of noble birth because he is a bastard son of Robert Baratheon, and she is also of a noble house. So it's not like they're complete strangers. They are kind of connected in the sense of royalty within the houses of Westeros. So I see that connection there too.
Yeah.
No, love it. And I feel that was a much easier conversation to have than going through several scenes to get to that point. So then, you know what I mean? So that's why we changed it up a little bit. So now we're going to go to some dead air again while we listen to some cool Game of Thrones lo-fi music till we get to the next statement. And obviously I'll repurpose all this and make it into videos and stuff and cut the dead air out.
Blaze,
is there a giveaway tonight? Blaze, there's a giveaway every season. You've just got to be here for 10 weeks.
And then be present to win.
Yeah. So I do have a little slide here. I just wanted to give some points on the creator, George R.R. Martin. Game of Thrones used 7 writers over its 6 seasons. Benioff and Wise wrote most of each episodes in the season. A Song of Ice and Fire author George R.R. Martin wrote 1 episode in each of the first 4 seasons. Martin did not write an episode for the later seasons, since he wanted to focus on completing the 6th book, The Winds of Winter, which he still hasn't fucking completed.
Yeah. How's that worked out for him?
Yeah. James Esposito wrote one of the first ever episodes as a freelance writer as well. So I've actually got a rant video that I want to make because I'm sick of all the news coming out with Game of Thrones. First it was the movie, then it was something, and then today I saw that apparently they're going to be doing a Broadway production of Game of Thrones, and I was like, what? Did we not learn from the television show that when you don't have the script to follow, it goes to shit? So, just wait till George finishes the damn book, please. That's all I beg. I just beg it. Anthony Blaze, I appreciate you chatting in the chat, bro. Have a great live, y'all. Too much dragons for me. I'm going to lose on Fortnite. You do that, bro.
Go get your first win.
There's more dragons in Fortnite than there is in this episode. Charles, the device disconnected.
It just pissed Charles off so bad he left.
Yeah.
Hand of the King's about to go take business into his own hands.
Oh, he's back.
I'm back, yeah.
So, next important scene that we have is Tyrion's confrontation with Varys. I think I need to keep playing it to get the words. Tyrion exchanges words with Varys, who reminds him of the unprecedented dangers in King's Landing. The conversation reflects Tyrion's awareness of how political secrets can determine survival, a lesson that he's quickly learning in the capital. So then we're gonna fast forward to the question then, and then we'll play the clip afterwards. So the question posed is, given what we've seen so far, how does Tyrion seem to approach trust differently than other characters in King's Landing at the current point in time?
I'm going to say, as a character, he is very. He is obviously well educated on his own accord, but he does the one thing that people rarely do, which is 2 ears, 1 mouth approach, which is listen twice as much as he speaks. And so he is very astute in his observations and learning, the ways of King's Landing or anywhere else, really, that he comes in contact with. And that kind of keeps him one step ahead at all times, because he can kind of see what's coming.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I see it was like pragmatic approach, and he trusts only those that have proven their loyalty to him. Unlike Cersei, that will act on grudges and stuff like that. So it's very, very different, complex of characters, which I do believe is an actual question later on in the episode.
Well,
Charles, how do you feel about him?
I think the same thing. He trusts who he trusts because they trust. They've earned that trust, and that's a big thing with him. Like you said, he's very well educated. He should listen a little more sometimes, but he gets his point across at the same time. So, but he listens, I think, a lot more than we think too. At the same time, it may seem like he's very outspoken, but he's listening. So much that's.
Well, the other thing is you have to think about, like Cersei, like you said, Cersei can use her power because you have no choice but to respect her power because of who she is. Tyrion didn't grow up and live that lifestyle. People didn't because of his stature as a dwarf. He didn't get that same level of respect. So he doesn't trust anyone. He only respects a handful of people at best, if that.
And instantly lost the family's disapproval because he killed the mother during childbirth. So that was instantly hated for that.
So he's instantly hated there. Yeah. Who's going to fear a dwarf?
I mean, people do what he wants because he has gold.
Yeah, good point. I did also have that he. Yeah, he's Lannister rich, isn't he? I also have here that he uses his intellect and is willing to align with those who serve his interests, like Bronn and Shae. Those flexibilities help him navigate King's Landing's dangerous politics. Yeah. Tyrion is a top 3 character for me, for sure.
Well, I'll say real quick, the one thing that he seems to have that the Lannisters in general don't have is empathy for others that are, like Bran.
Yeah.
For, in situations for other cripples or for other. So.
Yeah, and I did have a clip to play for Tyrion as well.
I don't like threats.
Who threatened you?
I'm not Ned Stark. I understand the way this game is played.
Ned Stark was a man of honor.
And I am not. Threaten me again, and I'll have you thrown into the sea.
You might be disappointed in the results. The storms come and go. The big fish eat the little fish, and I keep on paddling.
Oh, he's creepy as hell, is he? He's such a creepy snake.
Such a great. Yes.
Absolutely love it. So again, Charles, I thought this would be a fun time to introduce you to another red witch that you can fall in love with, my friend.
Yeah.
Melisandre persuades Stannis that he has a greater destiny, highlighting her unusual power over him. This dynamic creates tension between her and Stannis' longtime friend and advisor Davos, who isn't fully convinced.
Well, her unusual power over him is taking her shirt off, so she would have that power over me probably as well.
Yeah, I was going to say, it would work on me too, so. Yeah. All you've got to do is whisper some prophecies into my ear and I'm anyone, so.
Tell me the sun's coming up tomorrow. I'm yours.
So the question I posed to the chat and to the panel is, what do you think drives Stannis to follow Melisandre's beliefs? Do you think that Davos' concerns have any merit?
So her whole thing is, your wife's locked up. She gives you nothing. She has given you no children, and I can. And he's like, okay, he's a dude. Especially in that time frame. To them, marriage meant something but nothing at the same time, it seems like. So, the way I look at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think she fills his head with confidence and false hope, under the illusion of the god of the light that she follows. And I think that Stannis wouldn't be so cocksure about his right to the throne, although technically it is his throne. So yeah, Joffrey shouldn't have it. It should be him because he was the next brother in line from Robert. Jeremy, how do you feel?
And I'll say the gods have yet to make a man who lacks the patience for absolute power, Your Grace. So I think on top of just his general, her influence being that she's got this kind of sexual tension holding over him, I also think he has a genuine desire for power, as every man in that likeness does, or in this world. So I mean, you see it in everything. Even in House of the Dragon, we saw like every man, whether even the common folk, were ready to go race to tame a dragon. Like everybody wants power. Everybody wants that. So in Stannis's case, I think he's just eager to control the realm.
I can feel that power. She gives him that hope of power, and he's power hungry.
And does Davos' concerns have any merit? Absolutely. I mean, just in general, like you just see this woman pulling the strings of this man, and he's got every right to be concerned.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I do have a clip that I can play. I don't know if it's for earlier on in the stream. If it is, we'll just skip it again. But we have another Sansa being quite seductive.
I cannot defeat my brother in the field. And I can't take King's Landing without the men he's stolen.
I have seen the path to victory in the flames. But first you must give yourself to the Lord of Light.
I've said the words, damn you.
You must give all of yourself.
I have a wife.
I have one question.
Yeah.
Did anybody else hear Robert Baratheon there for a second?
Yeah, when he says, "I said the damn words."
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's the Robert snap. That's the Baratheon bullish snap. Yeah.
Okay,
Good catch, Charles.
I was like, "Whoa, what just happened there?"
Yeah.
I like it. I like it. Good catch.
So, I missed it.
Theon's return. Theon Greyjoy returns to the Iron Islands and is reminded of how different his family's values are from those he grew up with in Winterfell. His father Balon criticizes him for adopting the Stark ways, hinting at a complex loyalties that Theon faces. And then we will skip to the question. I probably shouldn't be skipping this because I think it's structured to work out perfectly for an hour, but I just don't want to have dead space. So, Theon's return to the Iron Islands. How might Theon's time with the Starks shape his decisions now that he's back with his family? What might he feel about his divided loyalties? Because in this episode, they want to go and attack the Isles, and they want to go basically attack Winterfell and take it. Because what are the words of the Greyjoys? We do not sow, we take what is ours with salt and whatever it is. So they don't ask for anything. They just take what they think is theirs. So that I have here, how might Theon's time with the Stark shape his decisions now that he's back with his family? What might he feel about his divided loyalties? I have here as my answer that Theon grew up under the Stark influence, which emphasized honor and loyalty. Returning to the Iron Islands forces him to reconcile with the values with the harsher ways of the Ironborn. His divided loyalties create inner conflict as he wants to prove himself to his family while also retaining the traits that he's learned from the Starks.
I think that's important. I think, the Starks taught him loyalty and everything when he goes back. But then when his dad says, "Oh, no, your sister's going to run everything. You're just going to sit in the sidelines. You're going to be the backup." I kind of wonder where his loyalties are then. Are they going to be with the Stark side back in Winterfell? Are they going to go with his family line and continue that, or is he going to get that like, I'm a pissy teenager now. I want to go against my dad now. I don't know.
If only you
Yeah,
knew.
Yeah, I see it. I see it two ways. Number one, I don't think there should be any divided loyalties. The Starks raised him, gave him everything, and provided for him, and showed him a path. And I
But
think that
under a forcible upbringing, he was a captive.
correct, but he was a captive who was treated respectfully as part of the family versus the dad who sent him off to begin with.
Yeah.
And then, but I think it comes back to the two things. One, the one I just said, people's, men in this world's desire and need for ultimate power. But two, more so, I think just the need for him to prove himself to his father, despite his hatred for him in moments. Even though he's frustrated and angry with his dad, he wants to prove to him that he's, that he can carry on the family name kind of thing. So
Yeah.
I get the divided loyalty. I just don't think there should be any, because one family could have raised him as a captive, but didn't really.
They raised him as their own,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, outside of giving him a wolf, they treated him like a son and a brother.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
From what
Completely
we've
agree with
seen.
you guys. Completely agree. Yeah, exactly. From where we're at the storyline and where we've seen.
Yeah.
This was a real cool scene to see it on screen, because I remember reading it in the books, and it's Theon seeing Pike for the first time. Pike is such an amazing scenery of like castle walls.
You can
And
see
YouTube,
the turmoil. Yeah.
Yeah. YouTube, I apologize if that was a famous Seagull band and I get copyright striked on that music, then I apologize, because they surely can't catch me for seagulls, right?
You can struggle. You can see the struggle in his face just in that scene where he goes from happy and smiley to then realizing. Now, having said that, I don't think I could walk across that bridge from one building to another. That was my fear of heights would have kicked in.
I'm the second that runs across it, gets to the middle and shakes it.
Yeah, no. Have we ridden by horseback up to the castle yet?
No.
Okay.
That won't be in here.
Okay.
That was an interesting part of the show. Yeah.
Very interesting portion.
Yes. I sure didn't think it was going to take that turn.
Yara's a naughty girl. Love it. Let's carry on.
I feel like I'm in a doctor's office.
Yeah, a Westeros doctor's office.
Some slow jazz.
This is what me as the Grand Maester plays in a lobby as patients are waiting for their milk of the poppy.
Nice.
Jon's curiosity about Craster's Keep. While staying at Craster's Keep beyond the wall, Jon Snow becomes suspicious of how Craster treats his daughters and sons. The customs he observes challenges Jon's understanding of honor and survival. Because this guy is a creepy motherfucker, I'll tell you that. So he marries his daughters and has babies with them to make more daughters, and it's pretty insane. And there's no boys around.
Yeah.
So the question I want to pose is, how might Jon's upbringing at Winterfell influence his reaction to Craster's ways? And what do you think his learning about life beyond the wall? Because he's a prim, proper silver spoon kind of boy. He has a good enough looking face to know that he's not really done much hard work up in the north. There's people around him. He obviously went to the wall because he wanted to have something of meaning within his life, because Ned had gone down south and he was left alone. And the only family he had was obviously Benjen's Ark, who was up that way. So it's kind of being forced. For me, Jon's storyline is forcing him up there through his lineage, because he doesn't truly know who he is. So he's trying to stick to something that he might know, that's familiar to him, to try and get the answers that he's looking for. So I feel like anything that happens north is just a byproduct of Jon's lineage storyline. Obviously, that's how I stand on that one. I shouldn't have probably gone first. I should have let you guys go.
Very good. I agree with you. I think he's realizing what the world's really like on the outside. You know, it's not the silver spoon of Winterfell, you know, in the real world. So definitely.
Yeah, you're not protected by your big your big stone walls and your famous name and army of people to protect you before they even get to the royals. So he's up there now in the nasty, crazy, dangerous places where people do stuff to survive.
Yeah,
so,
he's out there in the wild. Yeah.
Well, his name means nothing because he's not a Stark. So up there, he's a nobody. But correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, the Wall was his first experience outside of Winterfell, and that's not really giving you any insight as to how the rest of the world works. Then he goes to, I mean, he could have just as easily gone to wherever it is with when they had to cross the bridge.
The twins.
Yeah, what's his name?
Walder Frey.
Well, yeah, he could have easily just as easily gone to the Freys and figured out how disgusting life outside of Winterfell is. So he finds himself there. He's never seen anything like that.
No.
I can imagine he's got to be thinking, this is insane. But, you know, it's not so uncommon outside the walls of Winterfell.
Yeah. That's everyday life on the outside. Yeah.
Yeah. I literally had one statement. Jon was raised with strong sense of honor, loyalty, and respect for others, especially women. Craster's treatment of his daughters clashes with his own principles.
100%.
That's the instant disconnect there. I love the acting though, and I love the scenes between the out right now. You know, the whole tension scenes. He says, "None of you are going to touch my daughters." I'd get in trouble. I would have got in trouble.
Sam almost did.
Yeah, good point. Speaking of that, good segue, Charles.
You all right? Did he frighten you?
You shouldn't touch me.
Oh, right. I'm sorry, I just wanted to make sure you weren't hurt.
She looked at me like that. I'm sorry. Good judge in the show. So I'd have jumped on her. Oh, you're not supposed to touch me. And I said, that's all I want to do, love. I'd have got in trouble real quick.
Poor Sam.
Sorry, guys. Yeah, poor Sam. Sam has got a bit of him in all of us. I think he's perfect portrayal of the soft guy that shouldn't be there. And as a reader, you're like that. You know, you're sat in your comfy house or wherever you are reading the books, and then you're reading about being in frozen lands and crazy stuff like this. It's pretty crazy when you get those sensations with reading books.
Yeah, you either have that or you wish you had it.
Yeah. Okay. Now I want that to kick in, because if you listen, I purposely put the music to change to a more sinister note when Cersei came on the screen. There's the bells. And then we get Cersei. Tyrion and Cersei's power struggle. Tyrion and Cersei argue about who should wield influence over Joffrey. Their rivalry reflects their complex sibling dynamic, while Tyrion testing the boundaries of Cersei's control and challenging her decisions. I love the dynamic. He is the only one that can talk back to her and get away with it. Because she is insane. She is insanely crazy. And the question I pose is, how do you think Tyrion's approach to power differs from Cersei? What strengths or weaknesses do you think they each bring to the game of politics? We kind of spoke about that a little bit earlier on, about how Cersei can be very hot-headed and she can go off a grudge and she just wants revenge, whereas Tyrion would be more of a thoughtful person and would probably get someone else to stab someone else in the back so that he got his own way. It's a very different kind of power dynamic. And it's only going to get worse going forward. This is just the start of Cersei and Tyrion and their political battles. Charles, what do you think about the two brother and sisters? He's now the hand. He's sitting in your seat.
Mm-hmm. So to me, and this is, this is my opinion. My opinion only reflects nothing on Ryan or Jeremy. This is kind of like our situation in America right now, red and blue. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
You got Red Tyrion. He wants to think it through. He wants to see what's best route and go. You got Cersei. She's just like, kill them all. He looked at me, kill him. Just very volatile. Like you said, grudge, huge grudge. If somebody looks at it wrong or whatever, they're dead and they know it. With Tyrion, you don't know. He might just get you drunk. Who knows? But yeah, that's
he drinks and he knows things.
He drinks and he knows things.
Exactly.
Charles, where do you stand on the politics of these two? Jeremy, where do you stand? Sorry. Hey, Fidel.
I think that that Tyrion sees a long game. Tyrion understands that under the right circumstances, in the right situation, that his family could control the Westeros for time and all eternity if they do things right. And he's playing a long game to secure a future for his own. Cersei's just an evil, angry, vengeful mess. And he knows that she's going to bring nothing but hardship and war and ultimately another rebellion possibly, and all of those things that if her ways continue on, somebody's going to rise up and go against. And, if she has that influence over Joffrey, if he has his influence over Joffrey, this could be a kingdom for the Lannisters for hundreds and hundreds of years to come. So it's just a power struggle. And Cersei is always going to be, Tyrion's just not going to get cross with her too far she's just going to bulldoze him like a whatever. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Fidel's both are power hungry, but one thinks things through and the other one wants to take it all. Yeah, I have wrote down Tyrion's strength lies in his intellect and ability to understand people's motives, while Cersei relies on fear and control. Tyrion's approach is strategic, using allies and negotiations, while Cersei's is quick to act on emotion, which can make her unpredictable, but can also alienate others. A different style can lead to conflicts in how they handle threats to the Lannister family, because they both have to handle threat to their own family differently. So yeah, interesting. And Fidel, thanks for being here. Don't forget to put ! And your council badge, and you'll get your little message from Nightbot. Thanks for being in, bro.
Awesome.
I'm gonna start whipping next week if certain council members don't turn up. So yeah, we're gonna be whipping in the streets of King's Landing.
Do you promise?
Shame.
Shame. Definitely shame.
Do we bring our own whips or do you provide them?
Did I have a clip to play for Cersei? I'll just check. Yeah, I do.
Innocent was commander of the city watch. You had no right to exile him.
I have every right. I am the king's hand.
You're serving as the king's hand till father gets here. I'm Queen Regent.
Listen to me, Queen Regent. You're losing the people. Do you hear me?
The people. You think I care?
You might find it difficult to rule over millions who want you dead. Half the city will starve when winter comes. The other half will plot to overthrow you. And your gold-plated thugs just gave them their rallying cry.
Yep. Long game, short game.
Exactly.
Yeah. And Charles, I don't know if I want to thank you or hate you for now embedding 2024 politics into Game of Thrones in my mind, because now that's all I see when I look at them too. I do see what we've just been through, or what you guys have just been through. Yeah, wow, thank you. Davos's mission for Stannis. Davos recruits the pirate Salador Saan, sounds like something from Star Wars, to support Stannis' claim, relying on trust and promises. As Stannis' loyal advisor, Davos proves his resourcefulness and loyalty, showing a quite committed to his lord. I love Davos. He's one of the best characters in the entire show. Nightbot. Oh, so we got Master of Memes from Fidel, and Nightbot goes, "Hail to Fidel, our master of memes and laws." When he's not supporting the Padres, he's creating legendary memes. Check out his content here, and there's his Instagram link, guys. So go check out Fidel's page, connect with him. That's what we're trying to do, trying to build a community, and we can get more than 4 people in the chat on a random night. But that's my fault because we're not on a Monday night, and I set the YouTube algorithm to be Monday nights. Let's get to the question. So, what do you think makes Davos such a loyal figure? How does his role as an advisor differ from others in the series so far?
I mean, I personally think he believes in Stannis's claim to the throne, and so therefore he follows him loyally. And I think he differs from others because he is one that doesn't seem to be, he seems to put that in front of his own agenda. He's working for what he believes is right, getting Stannis elevated, and he doesn't put his own goals and missions or agenda in front of that.
And it literally basically what I've got written down. Davos's loyalty comes from gratitude and respect for Stannis, who recognizes his value and raised him from humble origins. As an advisor, which is what Jeremy literally just said, Davos is honest and grounded, providing realistic counsel without seeking personal gain.
Yep.
And I think that's why he stands so close to Stannis, which is rare in the world where power often corrupts. His loyalty and experience made him a unique and trusted voice for Stannis. Sure. So he's the untainted of, he's the untainted of the knights in Game of Thrones, because he kind of stays out of it a little bit. And I think we have some clips for Stannis. For Davos, I didn't want to leave Davos out. And it is always the funniest as well on the Comic-Con scenes when they're on the stages. I think we've got 2 clips. We've got Davos praises Stannis.
In the 7 kingdoms more honorable than Stannis Baratheon, or more worthy of loyalty.
What is the world coming to when smugglers must vouch for the honor of kings?
Mind your words, pirate. Mathos.
You think I'm insulted? I am a pirate. I'm an excellent pirate. I don't sail for promises.
Of course you do. Every time you leave harbor, you're leaving on a promise. A promise that somewhere on the sea, somebody's got some gold, and you can take it from it.
That's a promise that always comes true.
As is mine. You're not a young man, Salador. And correct me if I'm wrong. Most pirates don't grow old.
Only the clever ones.
Love the conversations. This is why, Charles, I rave about this show so much, because you can have a conversation on a beach between Davos and a D character in the story, and it's so compelling and interesting, and every word means something, and then nothing to do with the main storyline of the show. They're not, Jon Snow, Daenerys Targaryen, Tyrion Lannister. They're nothing, but it's the little intricate stories that build the bigger stories up that make this show what it is, and why I rave about it so much. It's just insane. We do have another one. Davos, he just asked a question.
I'll sail with you, Davos Seaworth. You're the most honest smuggler I ever met. Make me rich.
Get me to the gates of King's Landing, and I will.
It's a brotherhood right there. A brotherhood. Mm-hmm. And pirates do last long. Wasn't I forgot his name. Corlys, wasn't he some sort of like pirate guy on the ships. He won all the fights, didn't he? And I would class him as a pirate, just a rich one.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd classify him as a pirate.
I don't think he was a pirate. No.
I mean, he wasn't out pillaging and robbing other boats for their gold. That wasn't his. It was more of a protector of his lands and the naval army of. So
I agree. Sam's connection with Gilly. Sam shows kindness to Gilly, one of Craster's daughters, forming a tentative bond. His concern for her hints at Sam's empathy and bravery, which we've seen grow since he joined the Night's Watch.
Mm-hmm.
And then the question I want to pose is, what does Sam's willingness to help Gilly say about his character? How do you think his time in the Night's Watch has shaped him?
I don't think his time in the Night's Watch has shaped him all that much, because I think he has been this way since we met him. He's that kind of farm boy that had to go to the bit. It's kind of weird. Kind of like the farm boy that had to go. You know, Daddy made me. I didn't really want to go. I don't really know what I'm doing here, but I have empathy. You know, I care for people. And you could tell he's, I don't want to say soft, but you could tell he's a little soft.
Yeah.
So
I would say, because my initial reaction is I 100% agree. I don't think the Night's Watch has really shaped him in any way. Having said that, he is a little bit more able to stand up for himself for what he thinks is right. And that may be a little bit different and shaped by the Night's Watch.
Yeah.
The thing I would say is empathy.
And even talking to Gilly.
Even talking to Gilly. Yeah.
Yeah. True.
I would say empathy, yes. Bravery, I'm not real sure about. There's a fine line between bravery and stupidity. You know what I mean? Because that crossed some lines that could have just as easily gone different directions.
Well, when he told Ghost to go away, and she's like, "Oh, you're so brave," I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't find that as being brave, but okay, you know, she's hitting on him, he's hitting on her, you know, whatever. But yeah,
I mean,
you're right.
It's brave that he's standing up for it, but it's also stupid in a way that it could ultimately lead to horribly bad things.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, I have wrote down Sam's kindness towards Gilly reveals his empathy and courage, as helping her involved considerable risk. His time in the Night's Watch has given him the chance to find his own bravery and form meaningful bonds despite the challenges that he's faced. This connection could be a stepping stone in Sam's journey of personal growth. Trying to remain spoiler-free.
Yeah.
Which is actually really hard. I had to, these little paragraphs get written about 6 or 7 times before they get to the live stream. Because I'm like, no, I can't say that. Actually, I can't say that.
And I'm trying to answer all these questions in a way that I would have answered them having just watched this for the first time. So,
yeah. I appreciate that it can be hard, and I thank you.
Yeah, I do as well.
It takes me a week to get these out. So we're on the last 2 now, and then we're done. We should make it to the hour pretty nicely. Craster's warning to the Night's Watch. Craster makes it clear that he doesn't want the Night's Watch to question his ways. Despite their suspicions, this warning suggests the moral complexities and challenges the men of the Night's Watch face as they encounter new customs. Very interesting indeed. I don't know if all of them, because I do get the sense that Jorah knew about it. Jorah Mormont, the commander, I think he kind of knew and kind of does say in this episode. So how does Craster's warning complicate the Night's Watch mission? What do you think they might risk by staying at Craster's Keep?
I think they might risk, one of them getting killed, because I think they all have empathy to a point, and somebody's going to stand up for one of them at some point. And that's going to start
one of the guys.
One of them's going to stand up for one of the girls at some point, do something, and that's just going to start the melee right there. Then where are we at? We're down Night Watchmen. We're battled and bruised, and we're not really doing what we're set out to do. in the long run.
But Craster's position to say to demand loyalty and follow him regardless of what you think is very military like.
Yes.
Like you don't question the leaders, even if you disagree, you obey your orders.
You just
and
do
it
it.
keeps a very tight knit, very focused, very on task group of soldiers or people. So I don't think it was wrong in Craster's warning that you need to follow me without question. But yeah, I agree that there could have been some complications due to somebody eventually standing. I mean, you always risk somebody going against that order, right? And then it causes chaos.
Yeah, I have Craster's warnings limit the Night's Watch's ability to gather information or intervene, and it also compromises their values if they were to turn a blind eye to his practices. So it's kind of like a double-edged sword. They're dead if they do, and they're dead if they don't, in a sense. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, it's annoying. We've got a couple of clips. We're almost done, guys. If you could hit the like button on the stream, I'd really much appreciate it. And let me know down in the comments below or in the live chat, are you enjoying this new style? Is this better? Is this worse? Let me know. The clip I have is... No, maybe I don't. We'll just keep going on. I think it's the next scene that these two belong to. What happened? I got two on the same screen. There we go. John's discovery of Craster's secret. John sneaks out to observe Craster carrying a newborn into the woods, hinting at a darker secret in Craster's deal with the White Walkers. Their discovery challenges John's understanding of the world beyond the wall. Because he's always believed that these things don't exist. These things are fake. These things are just myths and legends that nobody's ever seen them, and people get beheaded when they even talk about them. And now he's seen one with his own eyes, and he's seen it, and it took his child. Charles, I want to ask you, what do you feel about Craster giving his sons to the Night's Watch? To the White Walkers, sorry.
It's a weird situation. I almost think it's kind of... He doesn't want to kill the baby, maybe, but he doesn't want the baby around either because it's not a girl. As you said, there's not many boys around. They're all girls.
There isn't
His
any.
Girls,
yeah, there isn't any. He's the only male.
His girls are having girls. So if there's a boy that's there, that throws a wrench in the whole system. Get rid of them. That, or is it a bartering tool for the White Walkers to kind of leave his clan alone at the same time? You know? I don't know.
Good point.
We shall
Good
see.
point. I always question why not just give the babies to the Night's Watch? Like, you could have had a rich Night's Watch full of men over the years of all the boys that he could have sent down there, but he sends them to the White Walkers. How did you feel when you saw that for the first time? Were you thinking, what the hell's going on? Like, how did it make you feel when you saw that the babies were being taken?
I actually watched it twice because I'm like, what did I just watch? You know, it was like, what? Huh? I literally rewound it and watched it again. And I was like, okay, I did see that right. And I think after watching it the second time, I was still like, what? You know? So.
Yeah, because you had an episode earlier on in the season where Joffrey goes and kills all the babies in King's Landing just to make sure that he hasn't got any brothers or sisters. And then another episode, Craster's killing babies as well. So Game of Thrones hits hard, and people think it hits hard because you lose your favorite characters. No, it's the amount of kids that die in this show as well. It's atrocious what they actually do in it. It's insane. But that is the way of the world in those eras. Jeremy, how do you feel about Craster and the boys going to the White Walkers?
And not just because he's killing the sons, but for the purpose of only preserving the daughters to keep for himself is absolutely, you can't even wrap your brain around it, right?
Yeah.
And how might this discovery change John's view of the mission? Like, what is he doing? What am I here to defend? What am I trying to support here? Like, because in that moment, you know, they're there and supposed to show kindness and respect to somebody they have no respect. They could not possibly have respect for. How's John going to show a guy respect that's doing this. So I mean, John's understanding of life beyond the wall from this point forward, everything he crosses paths with beyond the wall is now scarred by that experience. And so he's going to assume every interaction he has, and maybe he does, maybe he doesn't, but every interaction is going to be equally as disgusting, that these really are savages out here beyond the wall.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely. My notes, John's discovery. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Plus, real quick, it probably leans him to thinking that when you're talking about the monsters beyond the wall, there isn't a threat of these other things. The people that created that killed his uncle and did all these other things are just the people that live out there, not anything beyond that other than what he's already seen at the wall.
Yeah.
I forgot that he's already seen. I forgot,
and there is more dangers out in the wall.
Yeah.
So my answer to my final question was John's discovery forces him to confront disturbing truths about the people beyond the wall and their methods for survival. This revelation challenges his perspective on the mission as it highlights that some things are beyond his control. He realizes that the world beyond the wall operates by different rules, which could make him question the Night's Watch role and purpose. So yeah, basically Jeremy had my notes without having my notes. Love it.
I feel like we watched the same show.
Yeah, maybe we did. We have a final video to play called Baby Walkers. So first of all, the baby wouldn't stop crying just like that. That was a fake baby. Has to be. Because it wouldn't just stop crying just like that.
Right.
Cold hands of a White Walker. The look of the White Walker. You're going to freak out. So, yeah, HBO was a little bit off the ball with that one. And then I think that is pretty much the end of it. We're 57 minutes into the live. I'll let this run out. It says, I don't think there's anything else apart from one slide. Yeah, so here, I just want to say thank you. And there's a QR code in the screen if you want to scan that. You can help me out a little bit more. There's also links in the description to my Instagram, my YouTube, my Buy Me a Coffee, and my X/Twitter. This, I think, in my own mind, was a big success. I enjoyed it way more. I had way more of an engaging conversation with Charles and Jeremy about the episode. I feel like I learned more of Charles's views on the episode this time than me just rambling on about scene after scene after scene. So, yeah, I just want to, again, say thank you. We don't have any Meme of the Week this week because I wanted to just trial run this and just see how this was. And we have got back-to-back lives. Don't forget, we will be over on Let's Chat with Veterans in literally 30 minutes from now. So it's going to be a great night. I would love for you guys to come over and just say hey in the chat. I understand if it's not your kind of thing and you don't want to be there, then that's fine. But just for your king, for Milky, come over and say hello in the chat. I would very much appreciate it. And, yeah. Just please come over. Let's Chat with Veterans. They commented first. They're in the chat. You can click on them. I can see people are using their exclamation marks. I really, really appreciate it. Hand of the King. We've got a round of applause for Charles, the Hand of the King and first-time adventurer into Westeros. His insights and predictions are invaluable. Check out his thoughts and more here at youtube.com. It cuts it off because I think YouTube has a limit of characters. Yeah. And we have Grand Maester. And that one is our esteemed Grand Maester Jeremy, keeper of wisdom and secrets. Check out his knowledge and wit here over at J&M Bedtime Stories. Coffee! Yep, definitely. Everyone's got them. And I've also opened up my Buy Me a Coffee. So I've just been mixing it around. We've got the $2 a month tier, gets you a shout out on every video, every live stream. It's just at the end of the live stream. And you get exclusive footage over on there. But the $5 a tier, which I believe I've got like 4 or 5 members on there now, which is fantastic. You basically get to become part of the council. So you'll get an invite to the group chat. You'll be able to have a direct message from Commander Nightbot, don't blame me if it's roasting you, because he did that to pretty much everybody in the whole group chat. He roasted everybody's ass. So yeah, if you would like to support me a little bit more, you can go and buy me a coffee, or I think I called it Feed the Dragons. I think if you do ! Feed the Dragons, I think it drops the link to my buy me a coffee.
I tried to put the link in there, and it said absolutely not. It told me no. This comment has failed to post. So we'll try.
Is that what it's still saying?
No, there you go.
There you go.
There you go. Yeah.
Oh, I put 14 at the end. That's why.
Nightbot says you want to support the channel / help feed the dragons, and if you think they're late, consider buying lame. It's supposed to say if you think they're lame. That was a dig at Blaze. Consider buying Ryan a coffee instead. Every bit helps to keep these streams going, which it really, really does, because YouTube isn't paying anyone for anything. But guys, that's it. I'm really shit at these. I'm going to take it out. Jeremy, thank you very much for joining me this evening. Charles, my esteemed hand, thank you for joining me this evening. It's been
of course.
a wonderful evening, as always. I love getting back to these regular scheduled program back to Monday, unless anything else fails. But we're always going to make sure that we get it out within the week so that we're not 4 or 5 weeks behind. It will always be within that week. But yeah, Charles, do you want to drop the link to the live stream in the chat? And I will let everybody know that we'll be over there in 30 minutes. Jeremy, what have you got coming up in your life or on your channel in the next couple of 7 days?
All kinds of good stuff. We're going to do. We did a survey, and people want ghost stories, so we're going to be covering ghost stories on J&M Bedtime Stories, and so stay tuned for that. Ghost stories to go to sleep by.
Love it. Nice. Absolutely love it. Love it. I recently bought a actual proper GoPro, so stay tuned because I have ideas. Cool. Walking with Milky, mountain bike rides, all sorts of stuff. I've already been out on a nighttime bike ride with it, trying to test the camera angles and get it all right. It's going to be a lot of fun. Cannot wait. I'm just going to wait for Charles to drop that link in there if he's got it. There we go. YouTube.com/live. That is the live stream, guys. If you're watching this on the rerun or after the fact, still please go over to the live stream and say that you came over here, 2 weeks late from Ryan Milky's Game of Thrones live, because I know that we'll always appreciate it over there. And I think there's a giveaway going on, but you'll have to find that out yourself. So yeah. Charles, what you got coming up this week?
Just the big live tonight. We got Old School Nerd as our guest. Army veteran, does some hellacious, amazing music reaction videos. That's how I actually found his channel, and he had me in tears. I'm telling you right now, he had me in tears watching that video. We're gonna chat with him tonight. Who knows how long? He said his wife gave him free reign, so he can talk as long as he wants. And then just knocking stuff out here with the business, and I'm looking at the new laser over there, so we'll probably try to unbox that this week, get that set up. I'm really hoping it's gonna go. I'm really hoping it's gonna work really good. So yeah,
nice.
Just getting ready for here in a little bit, and come on over to Let's Chat.
Yeah, please do. If somebody reaches out to me in the next 7 days with the word banana, you'll get a free month to my Buy Me a Coffee. You've got to be watching now, and I'm not going to repeat it again. So the word banana on Instagram in the next 7 days, and you'll claim a free month.
You just repeated it.
Now.
I know. You weren't.
No, I'm not after the live. I won't repeat it after the live.
Gotcha.
Guys, I love you all. We'll see you in 7 or 8 days. Bye, guys.
See you.